I am live. Holy crap. I really don't understand this. Is there something? There is another window open somewhere. There's another window open somewhere. Damn. There it is. Hello. That is so frigging weird. Let me tell you what just happened. I was in live streaming hell there for apparently about um, 32 minutes. Now, what the hell happened? I have no idea, but I went through this beautiful description of volume profile, pattern cast, the macro signal, technical analysis. I did all that in the past 32 minutes. And then I look up and I realize that I'm not live. I had pressed the live button. It told me I was live. And now I'm not. Isn't that weird? Anyways, perhaps I'll go through it all again. Today is a beautiful day. Why is today a beautiful day? Because today is the day that my pool table was installed. Let's go to the big head. Big head. Today was the day that my pool table was installed. Let me show you my pool table. There's my pool table. Is that not a beautiful pool table? Now, it's not ready yet because I don't have the lighting set up. The room, as you can see, is still a mess. I need to clean that up. I need to install the streaming cameras and so forth. And then it'll be ready to go. Why is this so important? Well, it's important to me. Maybe not so important to other members of my family who may think that the pool table is a distraction, something that will prevent me from focusing on making money or doing chores. I mean, what are they? They're probably right. However, I am committed to using my pool table and the area around it and the streaming and incorporating it in everything that I do here. So you may, in the future, once I've got everything set up, will not see me sitting in front of these tents. So you can see the tent and the exhaust fans, the exhaust tube, and all this other stuff. You can only imagine what's in those tents. On the other side of that, let's see, I'll move over. There's a pool table. You see it? You see the pool table there? Right there. That's where I'll be. That's where I'll be conducting business. Well, the business of today is to talk about whether or not the market will break out or fail. Everybody wants to know every day, will the market break out or fail? Will I make money or will I go to the poorhouse? Are you one of those people that are out of work or working from home now because of the pandemic? Have you gone back to work? Has things gotten back to normal for you in your state? I'm in one of those states that took a little extra time, but we're starting to get our shit together. Anyways, what I was saying when I was in YouTube hell was that technical analysis, in my viewpoint, and from my point of view, is bunk. Technical analysis is bunk by itself. It is not a prescriptive method for trying to develop strategies and figure out where the market is going. Period. End of story. Why do I say this? I say it, well, basically because of objective fact that 90% of the people that use it lose money, and those that do use it that make money or don't lose are only using it to model their hypothesis, the thing that actually gave them the edge. They're using their intuition and their experience. And then maybe, I don't know, they're justifying technical analysis that way. It's not technical analysis at that point. There is no prescriptive method, no formula that you can put down saying, use this indicator, and when it hits here and do that, and then you trade this, and then it makes you money. It doesn't exist. Ever. Never will. Not without some underlying understanding of what's happening, and then use the technical analysis to model that fundamental understanding. Now, there is a technology out there that some may call technical analysis or an indicator, but it's not an indicator, and that's volume profile. Volume profile is as much an indicator as the bar chart is. Now, you wouldn't call the price chart, the bars, an indicator because it is the price, right? Well, volume profile is also the price. The difference is the bar chart is the price at a specific point in time. Volume profile is the price. It's actually the volume at a specific price. So it's either little price, big price, right? Or maybe it's like this. At this price point, this so much volume, that price point, less volume. So volume profile can, now let me back up a little bit. What comes from the exchange? What comes from the exchange? The exchange, you know, like the New York Stock Exchange or the NASDAQ. What comes from there and feeds up your chart, fills up your chart? There are three pieces of information that come from there. Price, volume, and time. Or symbol, number of contracts, and the time date stamp that trade was made. That's what comes from the exchange. Nothing else. Nothing else. Nothing else. So when you're looking at a candlestick chart, you are potentially looking at only two pieces of that information. Price at a particular time. You could add volume in there at the bottom, right? But then you're only getting it at that specific time. It doesn't tell you much about the volume at that price. Volume profile gives you the volume at a specific price, regardless of time. So it shows you where people, at what levels, investors, marketers, traders, find value in an asset and where they don't find value. Volume profile is the de facto way to find out where value is, or demand, and no value or supply. Trend lines, moving averages, head and shoulder patterns, flags, pennants, they don't show you jack shit. The only thing that's really missing in this equation in volume profile is time. And it's not always that important. But it is if you want to time your trades. What volume profile does show you is it shows you where supply is, where demand is, where the edges of market structure are, where's support and resistance. It shows you where actual support and resistance is, not the made up support and resistance that you derive from a trend line. Because that's not exactly where support and resistance is. And even if it was there, you wouldn't know how strong that support or resistance is. Volume profile shows you that. In fact, you could trade with volume profile alone without anything else. As a matter of fact, most professional traders, that's exactly what they do. They call it order flow. As a matter of fact, that's what they did way back in the turn of the century, from the 1800s to the 1900s, when all they had was price, volume, or ticker, number of contracts sold, and what time the transaction happened. And it used to come across either, in a little ticker tape, showing them in a serial fashion volume profile. To this day, they use that volume profile. And most professional traders are using that as their de facto way of seeing order flow in the market, because it is, quite frankly, superior to any other way of looking at the market. You can create what-if scenarios, bullish, bearish scenarios, with surprising accuracy and detail around the potential behavior of a stock as it moves through this market structure. If you want to learn more about it, go down below. I have a course on volume profile. It's $39. I previously taught that course to hundreds of people for as much as $500, and they paid it willingly and gave me excellent reviews, and they love me for it. Well, they love the course. For $39, you can get that for yourself and learn how to analyze these markets in the same way that I do. And if you go back and look at all my volumetric analysis, tell me where I've made any kind of snafu. You won't. Go check out my my TradingView account. It's under PatternCast. PatternCast is how we time the market. PatternCast is a technology I've talked about before. If you want to learn more about that, that is a pattern recognition technology that we use to analyze the market and tell us within a 4-day window what is likely to happen. Are we likely to go up, down, turn around, or remain the same? We use that in combination with volume profile, showing us the structure of the market and telling us what the potential behavior, if it does go up or down, will look like. Two unbeatable things, and that's all we use. Signal and the volume profile. That's it. That's all you need. So what's happening with the market today? Let's see here. We have people. Ed, man, I love billiards. Yeah, I love them too. All eyes. I'll give you a run for your dollars on the table, coach. I don't know. I don't know what your speed is. I'm an A level player, I think. It depends on who I'm playing, actually. But I think I can be a top level A player if I put the time into it. Maybe even a semi-pro. I think that if I put the real time into it, I could be rated on a Fargo of about 700. I'm sure that when I was younger, 20 years ago, when I was playing 12 hours a day, that's where I was. Today, I'm nowhere near that. But sure, maybe we can play virtually. Coach, but what about my sequential moving average? EMA, it's bullshit. Fibonacci, Elliott wave, crap. Numerology. What do I see on the volume profile for Bitcoin? I did a recent volumetric analysis. I think it's going to roll over. But let's take a look at the market today. Off to the charts. All right. First of all, I want to tell you about the macro market signal that we've been putting out every morning for the past week, almost 2 weeks. And I encourage you to subscribe to that. Hit the notification bell on here. Do this. Wait a minute. You got to do this. Wait a minute. Forgot to push this. This is what you got to do. Awesome. Do that. And let's see, we're going to go to a 4-hour chart. Telling us anything? So we were in this nice consolidation here. We broke out. We created this huge, or participated in this huge value node over here on the right-hand side. Now we broke out. Now it's become support. Whenever you see an edge to a value node, you know that that is either support or resistance. We've moved up. I suspect that we won't move down there. If we do, then we're probably going to consolidate for a much longer period of time. But if we go to the ES, I did some analysis of this, and it's been around for a while. There we go. So we have these two value nodes. We have this guy here that we used. People thought this was going to be a triple top. They thought that it was going to turn around. But according to our pattern cast macro market signal, it told us that it would not. And then I had predicted that we would break out, and which we did. And now that support, or that resistance, has become support. And this is what I mapped out according to volume profile. I believe our next, we may consolidate here on this other value node right here, the smaller one on the right. But I think eventually we'll be going and heading up to this new value node for new all-time highs. How low can Bitcoin go? It can go to zero. Well, it can't go to zero, but I wouldn't worry about it. I don't know why you're worried about Bitcoin. It's magic money, fake. Go look at my video that I did the other day on what I think of Bitcoin. It's being controlled by the Chinese. And if you're partial to being controlled by the Chinese, then go ahead. Hang out with Bitcoin. Feel the warmth. Feel the glow of the Communist Party while you're wallowing in your Bitcoin. So this is where I think we're going. I think we're going to potentially consolidate a little bit here on this value node, the smaller value node. It's possible that we come down and revisit this triple top area where we consolidated in that value node, because it represents a lot of strength. But look at the size of the value node above. It is much bigger, much stronger, even though it contains much less data. There was a lot of volume up here before the pandemic hit. That's going to attract us like a magnet. I believe that once we get up into this area, this volume well, this dearth, this lack of volume, we'll move quickly, very quickly up to this area here, and then start threatening new all-time highs. Now, there's a potential that we'll hit that new all-time high and test it many times before we break out. We may even pull back, all the way back to here. I can see that happening too. But we will break through it as more people come back to work, as businesses start opening up, and we start turning on this economic engine, domesticate those global supply chains, make ourselves more resilient to the Chinese Communist Party. All eyes, you're all over the place. Pool, Bitcoin, silver, what the? Long-term thoughts on physical gold and silver. I think that they'll go up requisite to, or in step with the market. That's about it. Can it go back to 5K? You know, I don't know. He's talking about Bitcoin. You guys, man, you're like so focused on things that don't matter. I mean, really, why? who cares about Bitcoin when there are so many other opportunities out there? Sure, it can move up and down, but it can also move against you. You never know what's going to happen because the Chinese Communist Party, you think it's decentralized and it's not being controlled by anybody, but it is. They have 65% of the world hash rate within China. Between China, Russia, Venezuela, and Iran, they have over 77% of the world hash rate. All your biggest friends in the world are controlling 77% of the hash rate of Bitcoin, and that's what you want to focus on. What the? Come on. It's great. Yeah. So is playing with fire great. I used to love to light fields on fire and then pull the fire alarm and watch the fire trucks come by. That was when I was way underage, by the way. Yes, me and my friends, we were pyros. Yes, we used to love to play with fire, play with M80s, quarter sticks of dynamite, all that stuff. We loved it. But is the market going to roll over, or is it going to rise? Is it going to break out or roll over? That is the fundamental question that we're asking here. Trump is speaking. How can you hold a live at this time? Oh, I'm sorry. Is he like smacking down the Twitterites and all the other social media wonks? I hope that's what he's doing. So anyways, that's the answer for today. We're going to consolidate on this smaller node. We're going to develop a base here, and we're going to move up to this other value node where I believe that we'll consolidate again and then move to all-time highs. There you go. There's the answer. Now, what I want you to do is go down and hit that like button. If you're not already subscribed, subscribe. If you want to learn more about Volume Profile, click the Volume Profile course link down below, which you can also find on my my YouTube page, and learn. I'll be here. Make sure you check out the macro market signal every morning at 9:15, where we tell you where the market is going for that day. All right. You're right. I need to go and watch the Trump speech. See how he's gonna smack up the social media stinks. Thank you very much. Oh, we need to first go back to the big head. Yeah, do that. And here's the big head right here. Thank you very much for showing up. Hit the like button. Smash that like button. Feel good about where we are in the market. I wouldn't feel so good with Bitcoin. I feel Bitcoin's going to roll over, but the market is going to go higher. The market is going to achieve all-time highs. I don't know if it will do it before the end of the summer, but that's where our destiny is. All right. Now, thank you very much. Smash that like button. Be good. See you next time.